Good evening, folks, and welcome to the OB Builders Cup Series. It is a lovely Thursday night, and we are coming to you live from virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's me, Joe LaCastro, up in the booth with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire down in the truck. A familiar sound here, but on a different night. It's great to be here, and Sheldon, it's great to be here with you as we call 175 turns around this beautiful track. Google Earth giving us the view now from above as we see the facility that we are about to conquer. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling right now, Sheldon. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, absolutely ecstatic. We saw some great racing to start things off last night in NIS with this same field for the most part. Unfortunately, I went to a crapshoot midway through, but I'm expecting great, clean driving here tonight from Las Vegas. And, we've got some interesting stuff on the boards here this evening, too. Got a little message from Andy Mullins before the race started saying that there is a $100 bounty to the first person in this field to beat Sean Conklin tonight. As we take a look at the championship standings right now, Sean Conklin firmly in front of Justin Levine in second place with 15 wins on the season to Justin Levine's 2. Thirds, Brandon Passalacqua holding on a strong, consistent season over Patrick Gitter and Joseph Causey rounding out the top 5.
Looking
We're in
at
store
this.
for a great show because Las Vegas, I mean, this place can make a lot of things happen. If you get these guys on the long run, you're going to see cars in places you didn't think we could put them.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of action, like you said, halfway through the race last night. Things did get a little bit dicey. I think I already made that pun. Why don't you go ahead and give us the keys to the race, though?
Yes, absolutely. And if you want to get the job done here at the Diamond in the Desert, you got to know high stakes, high rewards. You got to make some crazy gambles, but with $100 on the line here tonight, I mean, everybody's going to try everything but, the kitchen sink to try and get the job done here tonight. So that requires going off strategy, trying different lines, what have you. Number 2, you want to hold the line. That bottom line, it's going to be the perfect way to save tires here on the long run at Las Vegas, especially through 3 and 4, because you can burn so much off running up top. If you're really going for the gamble this evening, what you're going to do is put a bet on the pass line. And that pass line, that's going to be right up against the fence, ripping the boards off through 3 and 4, mid lane through 1 and 2. A lot of different ways for these drivers to work here, and Las Vegas kind of acts a little bit like a dirt track where the lines move consistently from start to finish in the run.
All right, now let's take a look at the picks for tonight's race. Why don't we start things off with your pick for who's going to win it all here at Las Vegas?
Well, we're at a high-wear track, and I'm just going with blackjack since we're here at Las Vegas. I'm going to go with that 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. How about you, Joe?
Well said. You know what? I think that even though he's a little hobbled this week, he's put down some impressive times for the quali. So I'm going to go with Randy Mullins, the 54.
Yeah, Randy Mullins, an absolutely stout pick. Driving on a broken foot, fell off the trail earlier this week, and in a lot of pain, but putting down great times in practice. And to round things out, we got the trophy hunter himself, Matt Busa of Pro Series fame for Austin Derbyshire in the 62 machine.
Yeah, that's right. Pro Series driver here tonight, looking for that bounty. And the grid. Let's go ahead and get things kicked off and talk about who's going around. Starting things off, first place, pole position. It's him, the man himself, Sean Conklin, that everyone's looking for. In second, it's Matt Busa. Third, Chris Crosby. Fourth, Randy Mullins. Fifth, it's going to be Patrick Gitter. Sixth, that's Roger Pierce. Seventh, Reese Schaefer. Eighth, Brandon Passalacqua. Ninth, Paul Bergoli. And 10th, Tim Wortman Jr.
Going off the grid in 11th place is going to be the 33 machine of Chris Vinson with the 333 of Evan Sadie to the outside in 12th. 13th position going to be Joseph Causey with Shane Clore in 14th. Starting P15 going to be the 23 machine of John Bender with Bryce Rayner to the outside in the 41. 17th place is going to be Nolan Hodgson with Lou Christian to the outside lane in 18th. And running out the top 20 is going to be Jose Medina and Derek Heiden.
Moving on to, I believe, the 11th row here. That's Joshua Hyatt and Russell Black in the 22nd position. Keith Long in 23rd with Adam Benefiel in 24th. Richard Kleinman in 25th with Chris Hudson in 26th. Daniel Wiles in 27th with Matt DiCiani in 28th. Paul Hill in 29th. And rounding out the field, we have Paul Gallimore in 30th and Greg Carr in 31st.
Do you feel the excitement, Joe?
Oof. Oh, yeah, I feel like I just put a massive bet down and I'm waiting for the dealer to turn over that first card.
And for one of these drivers tonight, it's going to be a $100 takeaway, whether that be Sean Conklin or the field, but it's been Sean Conklin versus the field all season. And we've seen how well that 10 machines run with it. More weeks in the pay window than anybody else. Coming out of turn 4 here to drive into the OB Builders restart zone to get this thing kicked off. The 10 machine leading a field of 31 hungry drivers to the charge, and the green flag is out and up through the gears. Sean Conklin and Busa taking us off here into the turn 1. I got lost there.
It's all right. Don't worry. We'll find them. They're all going left. Sean Conklin's out in front. Busa right behind him.
And Busa quickly tucking in behind through 1 and 2, trying to keep the momentum down this back straightaway through 3 and 4. Busa looking to the outside to get a little bit of clean air to the nose. Going for a little bit of a late arc as we got 3 wide racing with Randy Mullins, Reese Schaefer, and one car hard into the water round. Randy Mullins sideways through the grass on the front straightaway. Caution is out. Oh, broken foot, but no broken toe for the 54. It looks like he keeps the car pretty much square on all four corners. That's not the way you want to start out, especially after such a great qualifying run here.
Oh man. And here we are in Las Vegas, and I just put my bet on Randy Mullins. Oh no, I'm down 2 big ones. Sheldon, you gotta spot me, buddy. You gotta spot me. You don't understand.
You see, it just gets a little tight there. Things got a little awkward coming off turn 4. 3 wide at Vegas works, but those lanes close up real quick with how tight that corner gets, especially in dirty air. And Mullins just washes up a little bit. Car does outside, tags the fence. Don't quite have eyes on what the car was up top. See, that's Roger Pierce.
This is 27, yeah.
Can't tell if Roger tags the fence and bounces or if Mullins just slides entirely up into him. But Mullins right now is in a very awkward aero position, especially as you see Reese Schaefer start to come up. But he just slides up, and there's nowhere else that Roger Pierce can go. Roger Pierce can't drive through the grandstands.
No. I think there was You said?
Honestly, Mullins got very lucky there to not really catch any damage whatsoever on that 54 machine.
Yeah, it almost looked like there was a sort of an optical illusion in the situation of Mullins as he was kind of moving up the track, that the car that just Reese Schaefer tracked right in front of him up the track. And I think that he maybe thought that he had more room than he did. You know, just with the way that Reese Schaefer was moving, he thought, oh, I got some room, I can work here, and didn't realize there was just zero room to work with.
I think, too, it's just that situation of, he's in the corner, and he had, at the exit of the corner, got your foot, flat to the floor at that point, because you're getting ready to get onto the straightaway, and next thing you know, you got a car just wick up in front of you and just take that little bit of downforce that car needs. Because these cars, you're either on the edge of sideways or on the edge of pushing into the fence, coming out of corners, especially through 3 and 4, because 3 and 4 at Vegas. 1 and 2, you're just about to bust your tail. 3 and 4, you're about to break your nose coming up off the corner. And I just feel like that little bit of shift of air maybe took the steer away from that car. Probably on the edge already.
As we see here, the line of cars getting ready to get things restarted here. It was a decent start there, but then that early situation. Let's hope that these guys can just shake it off. And we still got Sean Conklin out in front. The bounty still stands here. Randy Mullins is going to fall back to the end of the line there, but the bounty still stands, thankfully. So the action could still happen up here at the front of the pack here for Sean Conklin and Matt Bussa.
Now somebody could roll the dice and walk away with that $100 this evening. But still, if I'm betting, I'm still betting on that 10 machine up there at the front, because we're going to see something crazy to see Conklin get defeated here, especially after the pace we saw out of him last night in NIS. It wasn't absolutely definitively his race to win, but it was a race that he made his race. A lot of drivers made mistakes. Conklin was very calculated, very calm to start the thing off. It looked more like a Adam Benefield race than a Sean Conklin race, where he just kind of hung out in the midsection of the pack for the first third and then worked his way to the front as the pay window started to open. And, somebody that can be that diverse as a driver, I just don't see how Conklin could necessarily find his way out of it unless he gets a little bit of help from somebody tonight.
Yeah, that's the rules say you can't wreck him, though, if you want to get that money. So hopefully whoever decides to bring the fight keeps it nice and clean, and we see the sportsmanship nice and clean. These guys have always had pretty good sportsmanship, but let's see how it goes with money on the line.
Also, a fun stat, I do believe that this is the first time since Pocono that we've had a caution within the first 10 laps here in the OB Builders Cup.
Oh, wow, okay. We're about to go green here. Here we go. Sean Conklin, Matt Bussa looking for the restart zone. About to go green here on the OB Builders Cup Series. Thursday night. Let's do it again here.
And a great launch for Sean Conklin there. The Victor 1 machine down into turn 1, pulls the 21 of Patrick Gitter through 1 and 2. Gitter getting the jump on the Kevin Harvick Incorporated driver, Matt Busa. Down the back straightaway, Sean Conklin trying to walk away as we are side by side now for third. With Roger Pierce looking to the inside of Matt Busa through 3 and 4. But Busa using the high line advantage, going to get a great run. He's going to get side by side here with the 21 machine of Gitter.
Side by side, he stays. He's got the momentum high on the outside. Through the turns here. He's going to pass. Makes that pass. Is he going to close the door? Yes, sir. By a little more than about a half a car length now.
And a shot to the back bumper of the 10 machine of Conklin going down the back straightaway. Now up to the outside for Matt Busa. Conklin going to shut the door out of turn 4. Busa gets tight. Same thing we saw a little bit ago with Mullins. Backs off the throttle, though. Keeps the car out of the fence. Loses a little bit of delta, but keeps the car in one piece. And now Patrick Gitter takes a look to the inside through 1 and 2.
Ooh.
Oh, and look at Busa wheeling it on that outside line. Knows how important it is to get out here and set the tone, get the clean air away from that 10 machine. Dives to the bottom here into 3 and 4, door to door.
And this is
watching a pro.
Yeah.
Watching a pro versus a future pro. A little bit of side draft down the front straightaway from the 62 machine of Busa. Going to pull him an advantage into turn 1 over Conklin.
What's his strategy here? What is Busa's strategy? Is it just get Conklin to overdrive, or is Conklin going to eventually give and say, all right, I'll fall back into second for this?
I think what Busa is doing right now is he's readying Sean for what the competition level is going to be in the Pro Series. Go out here, drive the doors off him. You know, we don't see a whole lot of aggression here in the OB Builders Cup Series. It kind of feels like a Sunday drive for a lot of these guys most weeks. Did you see Busa now leaning on him coming into turn 1? Busa taking the low line, not giving up. And it just comes down to he knows how important keeping clean air to the nose of that 62 machine is going to be. If he wants to be relevant against Conklin, he wants to make the pass early. As you see him take a higher arc into the corner, forcing Conklin offline. That is known as the Coke arc, actually.
Really?
Yep. Door-to-door contact here on the front straightaway down into 1 and 2. Busa is setting the tone early that he's not going to play nice with the 10 machine.
Not going to play nice. I was just thinking to myself how nice they have been playing, considering they've been driving door to door for so long there. Finally, they're Busa down into second place. But for a couple of laps there, they were absolutely door to door like formation flyers. It was like watching a pair of Blue Angels do their job, but one was trying to outdo the other.
And Sean Conklin sustaining on the outside line, gets good launch through 3 and 4, pulls him clear of the 62 machine. Now Busa has to go back to work to try and get back into a position to try and make a pass. Gets a great run through 1 and 2. Almost loses the back end of that car a little bit, though. Busa is definitely on the edge here.
Yeah, he's had a few wiggles I've noticed here, just driving the car out of those exits, really getting down onto that accelerator and making sure that he maintains as much speed as he possibly can. It's been impressive to watch.
Yeah, right now Conklin looks like he's driving a stock car. The amount of skew that I'm seeing out of Busa right now, though, it feels like he's driving a Silver Crown, at least when we're going through 1 and 2. You can tell he's just right on that ragged edge of out of control. And for some drivers, that can be a great place to be. Other drivers, it's a double-edged sword. And, oh, another big slide through 3 and 4. I think it might be a double-edged sword for Busa right now. Might want to just settle down, cool off that right rear tire a little bit. You see Patrick Gitter get to the bottom here in the front straightaway and take over second place.
And what a psychological game from Sean Conklin to say, hey, you know, I'm gonna race you for first, and I am gonna prove that I deserve to be here, that I'm gonna stay here. And if you're gonna challenge me from second, you're gonna have to work twice as hard to get where you want to go. I'm not gonna let you just walk past without a second challenge to you when you're side by side with me. And it was one that ultimately he was able to win.
You know Conklin right now has got to be grinning from ear to ear behind the wheel of that 10 machine right now. But he better not be breathing easy, because Patrick Gitter, this is the kind of place that falls into his wheelhouse. Those Fortis cars always good on the high-wear speedways. And he's starting to close that gap to the 10 machine right now, working the outside lane through 3 and 4. While those two were racing hard, you know, Patrick was just kind of sitting there watching, letting these guys go out there and chew those Goodyear Eagles up. I really do feel like this could be a night where that Chevrolet could come into play.
Let's see here, because right now the Toyota is leading things as we go in through lap 16.
Right now, Roger Pierce taking over the third position for Matt Busa.
I think Busa might
can't
be
tell
the
if,
one trying to save.
Yeah, I can't tell if Busa, maybe a little too free in that car, or if he's just opting to go for super save mode since he wasn't able to go out there and take the spot right off the jump. He's right on board with Busa here down the Nellis straightaway into turn 3. And for the lead, Patrick Garrett to the inside of Sean Conklin, leaning on each other a little bit through 3 and 4.
Ooh, very, very close to the wall there for Conklin. Gitter now trying his own strategy against Conklin. Let's see if he, now from the inside, can make the challenge here.
To the bottom through 1 and 2. Conklin pulling the advantage in the middle lane, though. Going to drive away from Patrick Gitter down the back straightaway.
And not
This is
quite
the hardest I've seen Sean drive all season, honestly.
Yeah, this is a tough drive for him with all the attention on his 15 wins so far in this championship, and the attention on that $100 bounty that's currently sitting on him. It's gonna be a new type of Sean Conklin tonight, the type that has to not just defensively drive, but I want to say something stupid like he has to offensively, defensively drive. He's got to work extra hard to make sure that he stays ahead of the game and that his strategy doesn't fail him.
Well, he's wanting to set the tone too, with all the talk about him being so dominant, winning so many races, with the $100 on the line here for Sean. I mean, I imagine what the goal is right now. You've got a massive points cushion between you and second place. Justin Levine not showing up this week as well on vacation, so that's just going to allow that advantage to P2 grow. Got nothing to lose. I mean, you can lock him in for the title already. You see Patrick Garrett get down to the bottom, up to the quarter panel, pushing the 10 machine up the hill, packing air to the spoiler. But Gitter rolls out of the throttle to avoid sending Sean off onto a vacation of his own.
Oh, man, that would be the worst right now. Imagine Patrick Gitter gets that air up on the spoiler and just the back end of Sean Conklin's car. I didn't want to think about it. Disaster averted. As we look here at Joseph Causey now, working his way up to the 95 of Nolan Hodgson, seeing what he can do down the inside. They're side by side now, fighting it out for 5th place. Hodgson holding on to that spot.
Ooh. Hodgson tagging the fence out of turn 4, but it doesn't hurt him too much. He's able to use the momentum of that outside lane to pull away from the 88 machine of Causey. And Causey off to a pretty good start here. Most weeks, just qualifies tail end of the field and fights and claws to finally work himself into the top 5. Here we are 22 laps in, sitting in 6th place for the 88 machine. It's the best he's started in months.
Oh, wow. Hard off the wall there.
And here he is undoing it for me as I'm talking about him.
He must have heard you talking. Oh, my goodness. Here comes Luke Christian now. Luke Christian sitting at 13th. He's up 5 from where he started. Currently just a little bit ahead of Adam Benefield, who's actually up 10 from where he started, making his way up to the field slowly but surely. You mentioned Benefield's name earlier. He's a possibility here.
Oh, for the lead. Get her down to the inside of Conklin. Gets a little loose, though. Has to crack off the throttle. Here comes Roger Pierce shooting up top. Pearson to the outside now of his Victory 1 teammate Conklin, throwing a block down to the bottom of the track comes Pierce. Through 1 and 2, Pierce side by side, neck and neck, but Conklin with the middle lane going to pull the advantage again through 1 and 2.
Oh, don't do it. This is precarious here for Pierce. It is his teammate now, and he wants to race him clean, I'm sure.
I think at the end of the day, Roger don't care. It's been an uphill couple of weeks for him here on the sim, and I think he just wants to get the job done tonight.
Well, we'll see what happens here as he is tucked in pretty well. He's driving a line that's not exactly following one-to-one what's happening in front of him, but it's maintaining the speed he needs, and he's staying competitive with Sean Conklin. He got his way past Patrick Gitter, so there's a lot of heat in the 27 right now. A lot of heat, and there's a good chance that he could still be competitive enough to put another pass here on the number 10. I think there's a a good chance we'll see him make that move here very soon.
You know, things may be going rough on the sim right now for Pierce, but behind the scenes, going pretty good. Big championship win with Jeremy Mayfield, doing crew work for him this season. So things looking up for the Roger Pierce camp as we look at Evan Say go at it door to door with Joseph Causey, the 333 to the bottom, and the 88 up top. To the quarter panel here, trying to pack air to the rear spoiler, but Causey just slips away through 3 and 4. But Evan Say hounding the back bumper of the DeWalt Camry.
Really, truly is trying some mind games a little bit, maybe just trying to stay close on that bumper and make a pass if possible. The 333 now about a car length back, losing a little bit of the momentum that he had, but still, I think that all it's going to take is another couple of turns, and he'll be right back on him.
Yeah, and the one thing, though, for Evan is at some point he's probably going to want to throw a rock through the window to get Joseph Causey knocked out, because Causey is consistently one of the most difficult cars to pass. Doesn't matter if you're a teammate, friend, foe, whatever. He's going to make you get your money's worth out of it.
That's a good way to put it. That's a great way to put it. I think you're exactly right. As here we go, eyes on with the 88. Looking for Nolan Hodgson, or maybe just trying to get through right now. List lap 28 of 175, looking for 29. Here we go across the line. Eyes back on the 333 machine of Evan Say. I'm sure Say would love a good finish right now. Here he goes.
A little further.
I think he's got it.
Down to the bottom here through 3 and 4. Not able to close up, though. A little bit further in the pack. Daniel Wiles takes over a spot from the 64 machine of Russell Black. Major battle for 18th. And Randy Mullins trying to work his way through the field after the incident early. Already back up to the 21st spot from 32nd. Broken foot be damned. Randy Mullins wants to get something done here tonight.
Well, yeah, broken foot be damned. Hopefully it's not, going to exacerbate things for him to be racing and using. Hopefully he doesn't have, if he's got that loaded brake pedal, hopefully it's not bothering him too much.
He did get a little bit of luck in the draw here this week with it being Las Vegas. This isn't necessarily a track where you do a whole lot of braking, as we watched Reese Schaefer down to the bottom of Lou Christian through 1 and 2. But if this was a Martinsville or North Wilkesboro or a Bristol or even Nashville, this would be a miserable night for the driver of that 54 machine.
Accurate. Very accurate. So we see at the very front of the pack here, Sean Conklin taking things away quite a bit here now. Roger Pierce having a lot more distance to make up if he wants to go ahead and throw another left hook in that direction. Back a little bit. We got a pretty good gap forming here. Matt Busa back to Nolan Hodgson. Ooh, Hodgson off the wall. Pretty hard there. Not pretty. Uh-oh.
Oh, car around on the front straightaway. Shane Clore spinning across the start-finish line.
Ooh, 72 of Clore spinning across the finish line, but it looks like it was just him. No one else gets caught up in this one.
Clore up the hill here. Maybe tags the fence. No, gets a little bit of help there.
Ooh.
That's how on the edge these cars are coming up off onto the straightaway. The slightest bit of contact is all it takes to send you around. I think, was that the 64 machine of... That's the 41. That is a...
Bryce Reiner. Yes, sir.
Right there. That's just one of those situations. Bryce came off the corner a little awkward there. So did Shane Clore. And one of the easiest and most embarrassing mistakes you can make in this Cup car is, with the amount of steering offset we run in these things most weeks, you kind of make it a little bit easier to work yourself through the corners because you're not having to, crank the wheel all the way 90 degrees. Sometimes you come up off the corner and you think you got the wheel straight, but, straight isn't always straight on the wheel. Just a little tag there. And it just takes one little micro misstep to ruin your night and somebody else's. And unfortunately for Shane Core, that solely affects him.
Yep. That's going to bring him back down quite a ways, unfortunately, as we watch the whole field, or just about, yep, the whole field coming on down pit road. I don't think anybody stayed out.
Everybody, 34 laps around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're going to come in, get tires, and pack a little bit of fuel in it. See Sean Conklin, Matt Busa both get themselves in their boxes. No real mistakes on pit road for anybody here, so this is going to be a good, clean set of stops. You see Sean Conklin winning the race off pit road. That P1 pit box, so valuable.
Yeah, first things first. You're going to be the first one out and control a lot of the situation if you get that early position. Pole position means a lot here. And here we are, eyes on the pole position winner and still first place runner, Sean Conklin. I don't think anybody else has led a lap of the race so far.
No, they've had
some challengers.
They have been working him pretty hard to try and take it, but it's going to be difficult to take it away from the 10 machine because it's just dialed in, clicking everywhere we go. Also, Tommy, I see that you are active in our chat here tonight. Thanks for coming and watching.
Yeah, nice to have you. As the lights go off in the pace car, you know what that means. We're going to be getting things started here very soon, folks. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday night edition of the OB Builders Cup Series.
What an exciting start to things we've had here today from Las Vegas.
Solid stance
all the way throughout the field, and the beautiful thing is we've had action. We've had clean racing for the most part. Two small incidents so far, but when everybody's trying as hard as they are right now, knowing that they have a prize on at the end of the race, you're going to run into that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I can fully agree with that. You're going to run into it a little bit. Right now, so far, after 36 laps, it's been looking pretty good.
As the field lines up through 3 and 4, lights out on the pace car, getting ready for it to make its sharp descent down pit road. Field in the hands of Victory One teammates Sean Conklin and Roger Pierce into the OB restart zone to get things kicked off here. And the green flag is out. Conklin through the gears. Great start for the 10 machine. Pulls out 2-3 car lengths over the 27 machine of Roger Pierce. Pierce trying to cover the bottom line to keep Patrick Gitter at bay. And Pierce going to be able to have it coming in 1 and 2.
Now here's the question. Is Pierce going to play the goon just to make sure his teammate looks good tonight, or is he going to go for the money?
Oh, Pierce is going for the money. There are very few situations where Pierce won't go out there and try to grab that beer money.
That's fair.
You know, Pierce is highly competitive. I mean, we've watched him and Conklin go at it toe-to-toe multiple times, so they don't really do each other many favors. As you look, Patrick Gitter getting shuffled, the 62 machine, and Matt Busa trying to take another stab up here at the front, moving up into P3, and Roger Pierce looks down to the bottom, down the back straightaway. Pierce to the bottom, Conklin to the middle, and here comes Busa trying to work up against the fence.
Ooh, everybody tagging that fence right now as we are 2 by 2 up here at the front,
and
going three wide.
3 wide into turn 1. This is going to be the first time we've seen anybody really dust off the marbles in the far outside through 1 and 2. Doesn't work. Busa falls back in line and gets Conklin. Arrow loose. Conklin, a little bit of contact, almost loses it, but saves it on the back straightaway.
Wow, he lifted him just that little tiny bit, but Conklin able to stay down. Gets just ahead of Patrick Gitter there. This pack of 4, wild, untamed racing right now.
That right there, that's just how close these cars are to snapping around on their own. You just get a little bit of air yanked off that back spoiler, and the back end comes out, and you just have to pedal it. Amazing save by Sean Conklin, because a lot of people would have gone around there. Was able to recognize that the car was going to get free, backed off the throttle, straightened her back out, loses a couple spots, but he gets to live to fight another day. But Roger Pierce now taking over the lead as we look at Paul Bergoli to the outside here of the 6 machine of Brandon Pasalacqua. And this is one of those tracks that could fall into the favor of that 6 machine, too, the later we get into the runs.
Side by side, Evan Say right now. The 95 of Nolan Hodgson. Hodgson trying his best to hold off Say, but Say with the speed on the outside. He's got it. Time to close the door, and that position is his. Evan Say is now in 6th. Nolan Hodgson falls back to 7th.
And for second place, here comes Patrick Gitter, the 21 machine, working the outside line through 1 and 2, clearing the 62 of Matt Busa. And I feel like Busa maybe in a bad spot there with that 62 machine. Just looks like he's a touch too free. At least it did at the early to mid section of that first run. I think right now he's just trying to save as much as he can to try and make the car viable later in the race. All these guys chasing that car right there in the front. 27 machine and Roger Pierce up to a 9/10 of a second lead already. Kind of worrying if he might be a little too hard into the throttle too early, though, because we've seen how quick these cars can come back around on you.
It's almost instant when the situation turns from perfect to questionable. These cars can go completely sideways. It's been wild to watch such seemingly small incidents blossom, and then things that are tiny little wiggles, you realize, man, that guy just fought for his life, and he just saved the whole field from wrecking. And it looked like the smallest thing, but from, if you've ever held the wheel during those moments, you know that it took some crazy good calculating to make sure that that car stayed straight.
There's a lot of hells I can think of, but a loose car. Well, I wouldn't say a loose car. A loose car at Las Vegas is awesome. An extra hairy loose car at Las Vegas, though, that's its own circle of hell. Because you have so much time and throttle here. When that back end wants to kick out early, center in the corner, and stay that way all the way through, it's a juggling act. Try and keep yourself from nosing it off into the infield wall.
Here we are, a few more folks here trying to make some moves. Looks
Causey
like
going for a bit of a aggressive arc there through 1 and 2. Comes in high, brings it down late in the corner. Anything you can do to try and get a little bit of clean air to the nose of the machine and build up momentum down the back straightaway. Of course, tag the fence. Evan Say grabs it. Paul Bergoli almost gets it. Takes a peek to the inside of Evan Say, but falls right back in line. And big loose moment there for the 62 machine. You see Matt Booster losing a little bit of momentum there through 1 and 2. Back end kicked out, glued him down to the paint there. That opens the door for Sean Conklin to get up to the back bumper. Now the question is Sean Conklin going to try and yank the air off his spoiler like he did a few laps ago to him?
That's a good question. That is a good question, because it's with how close he could get to him and how close he's been driving him door to door. There's a very good chance that it will happen. Here it comes.
And here's the instant earlier that we were talking about, too, the aero loose situation. See, Booster just gets wrapped to the back bumper. The 62 machine almost losing it down the back straightaway. Great save by all these drivers. Booster could have pushed the envelope more and sent Conklin around. Conklin could have kept his foot in the throttle a little bit longer and sent himself around. Great save from that pack of drivers there.
Yes, indeed.
Look at that. I just see how low that 62 machine is staying on the exit section of the corner, and I just feel like he's just way too free to be able to mount a charge long run. but I could be wrong. You never know.
Well, you got a pretty good head for these things, I'd say. You know, don't sell yourself short. I think that we'll see what happens, but I bet it's going to come out the way that you predicted.
I hope not. I want to see action. I know it's going to come down to Conklin and somebody at the end of this thing tonight. Too much at stake.
That's a good question, though. Yeah, Conklin. Let's see. Ooh, more wall tagging happening here. A little bit there, folks. Sean Conklin stuck in the middle with Matt Busa and Joseph Causey.
The lead starting to heat up. Patrick Gitter starting to close into the back of the 27 machine, and Roger Pierce, who's led pretty much this entire stint here since we went green a handful of laps ago.
Okay, let's see if he can get him. Gitter behind Pierce.
What a great recovery drive for Roger Pierce, too. Started this thing off, you know, the first caution, he was there. Working himself up to the lead. See Joseph Causey trying to bring some heat to the back of the 10 machine of Sean Conklin here through 1 and 2. Conklin all over the back bumper of Busta through 3 and 4.
Ooh, very close. Oh, hard off the wall. Behind him, that's Joseph Causey.
They're trying to cut the apron to get to the inside of the 62 machine. Doesn't work down the front straightaway that time. And side by side behind him, Nolan Hodgson trying to make something happen to Joseph Causey through 1 and 2. Hodgson ripping the outside line, building a great run down the back straightaway. And he's going to clear Causey as Causey falls back in behind him. It was a tongue twister.
That was rough to say. I was going to say, don't envy you having to say that one. But yeah, he absolutely does clear Causey.
Oh.
Ooh, look at
Conklin
this.
Shoots for the outside, tags the fence, now dives to the bottom here in the front straightaway. A great run for Conklin. Door to door into 1 and 2. Conklin chases him up the hill. Busa going to have to settle in behind him, trying for the crossover on the exit of 2, but it's not going to work. Sean Conklin takes over third.
Wow, a brief repeat of the several laps of side-by-side racing they had, but this time Sean Conklin just definitively moves ahead and says, nah, I'm just going to move right here, and you're going to move right where you're at, and that's where I'm going to try to keep you. Well, I spoke too soon.
Busa going to repeat the same thing Conklin did. Takes the high line through 3 and 4, chases it down to the bottom into the front straightaway, now working the inside through 1 and 2. Door to door, they almost touch, out of turn 2, almost into the wall for Conklin, and a bit of a hip check down the back straightaway from Busa.
So close, and yeah, that hip check was contacted, maybe, I think it was.
Oh, up the hill, the 62 machine goes, and up into the wall goes Conklin, bouncing off each other on the front straightaway. Conklin hooks him down the front stretch, and head on into the wall for Busa.
Wow, of the two to go into the wall, I didn't know which was going to do it, but I knew that situation was going to end with one or both of them hitting like some kind of hook or some kind of defense, and well, it happened.
It didn't have to end like that.
Ooh, Busa throwing out that was with intent.
Yeah. It was. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat too much, but yeah, that was. Conklin got mad. I mean, he got stuffed into the fence, and he came down and he hooked him head on. So.
Here's the pass one more time.
Started with this earlier. You know, these two are racing, leaning on each other a lot at the first stage in the race, and you know, tempers just kind of started to build from there.
Now we've got the drivers.
Busa slides up the hill and stuffs Conklin into the fence. And Conklin just turns down on him, hooks him into the wall. I mean, it's the same thing we saw with Elliott and Hamlin a few years ago at Charlotte. Same exact layout.
Yikes. That footage is not going to look good for the review. Ugh. Any way you slice it, I can understand letting someone get under your skin a little bit and getting someone back.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand entirely. I think anybody that's raced in a competitive series anywhere on the sim has had moments where they've done that themselves. But
Yeah.
it doesn't make it wrong. I've been parked for stuff like that myself.
Yeah. Yeah. You just hate to see it. You hate to see it. We had a good competitive race going, and now if we got to build ourselves back up a little bit from where we stepped from step 2. Now we got to step back into that headspace that we were in. So,
I had a moment last year in Casey Carrington's Gen 4 league where I got stepped on the fence at Kansas by somebody, and I caught him on the exit of the corner. He stuffed me into the fence in Gen 4 car. Front bumper works like a wedge. I knew that. I hooked him head on into the fence. I got a part for the rest of the season on that one myself. So I apply it. It was head on, applied directly to the forehead.
yeah, that'll get you parked.
Yeah, I mean, we all have moments like that.
Yeah. My mama always said, "Don't drive angry." But my mama don't drive. Here we go. Getting the folks ready to go again now, shaking it off. And we'll see how this race can stack back up again. Woo! Got a view, spoiler view there for a second. Just doing a quick inspection of one of the machines there.
Say, this is the most exciting driver chat has been for a while.
Yeah.
There's rightfully so. There's a lot of frustration right now throughout the field.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah.
Conklin right now trying to fix the damage received on that 10 machine. Because he did get stuffed in the wall pretty hard there, and the extra contact probably didn't help anything. But this hands the race over now to the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter and Roger Pierce in that outside line. And I feel this right here, this is a good opportunity for Roger Pierce or Patrick Gitter to be able to poach this thing, because they've both shown exceptional pace here today.
That's true. And now that the bounty situation is on hold, I'm guessing, or probably over for this race, to be honest.
No, it's still going, still active.
Okay.
Any of these other guys beat Conklin, I'm pretty sure that finds its way into their pocket.
All right, well, here we go.
Through the gears, 21 machine. Patrick Gitter, great start here. Gets a nice advantage over Joseph Causey and Roger Pierce.
Good run from Gitter. Out a few lengths ahead right now. Causey's got to work to catch up. A great start there for Patrick Gitter. Roger Pierce right behind, though, and we're too wide behind the two of them. I think that's Paul Bergoli. Evan Say high on the outside.
A little bit further back, Tim Wortman Jr. working the outside of the 33 machine of Chris Vincent, down into 1 and 2. Chris Vincent taking the bottom lane. Wortman going to use the top line advantage of the 28 machine, though, to try and pull him ahead. Gets a little bit of a wiggle, going to come out even down the back straightaway. But a little bit more momentum for the 28 machine. But here comes Chris Vincent fighting back again to the bottom of 3.
Fighting back on 3. He's got it up to the wall. There we go. Oh, down into the grass. Behind.
Oh, Chris Crosby, and back up the hill. Saved it.
Wow. Avoided the next yellow for sure, even maybe that's going to put him at the back of the line. Keeps it straight enough after a horrific situation there down to the green to trim some of the grass.
That was an incredible save from Crosby. Just gets out of the corner. Same thing we saw a little bit ago. Car got tight. A little bit of contact. Almost loops it. Hops through the grass. Crosby, great save.
Attaboy. Love to see it. Just love to see it.
From the pack right now, it's Patrick Gitter leading over a narrow margin in front of the 88 machine of Joseph Causey. Causey working the middle lane right now, trying to find clean air to the nose of the DeWalt Camry. But here comes Roger Pierce fighting back. Fell back to third on that restart, trying to get those positions back.
If he can. Let's see here. Roger Pierce right now. Just trying to use what air he can get off the back of that 88.
And for Roger right now, there is extra drive, extra determination in the situation. You know, you just watched your teammate, your buddy, kind of get knocked out of it. Now you just want to go out here and secure it for your team, secure it for yourself. You see him try to get to the back bumper, the 88 machine of Causey. Causey with a good run down the front straightaway, looks to the outside of Patrick Gitter through 1 and 2. It's going to be a good corner for Causey. Going to pull him right up to the back bumper of the 21 machine down the back straightaway.
Here we go. Ooh, look at this. Yep. Causey pushing.
To the outside through 3 and 4. Causey side by side with the race leader, Patrick Gitter, up to the stripe. And with the advantage, Causey going to lead that lap, but Gitter not going to give up as we come down into 1 and 2. Going to try and fight on the bottom of the track, but we've seen how potent that outside line could be under the right set of tires. And Causey with the advantage on the back straightaway. Joseph Causey taking the lead, 66 laps in. Sorry, 66 laps in.
Awesome. What a good pass there.
These old man eyes are starting to get the better of me, boys.
Gotta get the readers on.
Something.
That's all right. I've made as many similar mistakes. Don't you worry about it. 88 out in front now. Joseph Causey working hard to lead this race. 12 places up from where he began it. A very good drive out of Joseph Causey. Patrick Gitter also doing a fantastic job, up 3 from where he started. Roger Pierce up 3 from where he started. Everybody doing really good up here, up at the front, but no one's doing quite as good as Adam Benefield. We'll just take and Paul Hill. Paul Hill, 20 places. He's really working his way through the field right now. So if there's anybody maybe to keep your eye on in the back of the field, someone who's cracked in that top 10 just recently, let's look at what Paul Hill's up to and just keep him in the back of your mind, okay?
Oh, Paul Hill and Adam Benefield carving their way through traffic every week is a pretty common statement. I do have to give a shout out to Causey, though. You know, we don't get the opportunity to talk about him. Yeah, I'm a little bit biased. Longtime friend. And, you know, very good friend of the channel as well, but you know, he's somebody that he may have not have come out with a whole bunch of speed this year in the OB Builders Cup Series, may not have a lot of wins to his credit, but you put him in any other, you look at any other series and he's fighting for championships, fighting for wins week in and week out. But right now, Patrick Gitter in that 21 machine going to try and keep him honest, working the outside line through 3 and 4 with the advantage of the line this time. It's going to go to Patrick Gitter for lap 69.
Oh, here we go. He's got him just a little bit.
Wiggle for Causey.
That's not pretty.
Causey opting to get out of the way here. The 27 machine of Roger Pierce knows he's fighting a loose condition in the DeWalt Camry. Slides up the hill a little bit, tags the apron. Corner's really going to hurt. I said nice things about Causey, and he showed me what happens when I do that.
Yeah.
Back to being mean for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I can't pick cars anymore. I don't know. I think my picks are going to be people in other races, just so I don't have to curse somebody in the current race I'm watching.
Patrick Gitter working at 3/10 of a second advantage, but Roger Pierce trying to close in here. Across the line last time, those two were dead even. Going to be interesting to see what we see at the line this time. 31.82 for Patrick Gitter over a 32.26 for Roger Pierce. As we watch Paul Bergoli try to take over a spot from Joseph Causey.
Let's see if we can make that pass here. Pretty good. Let's see. Causey not able to get experimental with his line anymore. Getting chased down pretty fastidiously here.
Up to the back bumper down the straightaway now up to the outside line. This is the highest we've seen anybody work through 1 and 2. Big wiggle for the 12 machine though. The bump's not working to the favor of the Bergoli Esports Ford Mustang. But keeps her pointing in the right direction. Going to try it again here through 3 and 4. Causey holding the middle lane. Big wiggle out of the 88 machine. Opens up the door for the 12 machine to make something happen here on the front stretch.
And here we go. Whoop. Big shot right now to see if he can make it past the 88.
And Rigoli has found something working that outside line through 1 and 2 and looks to the bottom into 3 and 4. Causey's going to do what Causey does best. He's not going to give up. Running up against the fence through 3 and 4. Pulls the momentum down the front straightaway and takes the spot back away from Rigoli. Now Rigoli has to go back to figure out how to make that pass happen once again.
Can he figure it out? Let's see. Causey.
With 75 laps on the board here, I think now's a great time to go to our sponsors here, take a quick break, and come back to bring you more of the racing action here on the grid. When it gets boring. And side by side, battling for the lead. Roger Pierce to the inside, takes the spot away from Patrick Gitter. Gitter dives back down to the bottom here on the back straightaway. Bit of a side draft down into 3. Gitter going to send it deep, trying for the slide job over Roger Pierce. Doesn't stick, though. Gitter's going to lose a lot of momentum here. Here comes Roger Pierce fighting back on the outside lane, and Pierce is going to take the lead back.
This lead is now just about anybody's crown to take in this race. Looking back and forth between Roger Pierce, Patrick Gitter, Joseph Causey. It's going to be interesting to see who can maintain dominance during the middle portion of the race here and who's ultimately going to lead that dominance to the finish line.
Yeah, we've definitely hit the midsection, but there's nothing mid up here at the front. These guys just going at it. Dogfighting for the lead. Paul Bergoli tags the wall in 4th spot. Going to lose a little bit of ground there. Now he's got a rear view mirror full of the 333 machine of Evan Say as Evan sends it around the outside line to try and get past the 12 into 1 and 2. Working the outside line, ripping the boards. The 333 machine takes a spot away from Paul Bergoli. Bergoli kind of falling off a cliff with the tires right now. Here comes Adam Benefield working the top line. Bring forward, great set of corners for Adam Benefield. He's going to have the momentum, and he's going to clear the 12 machine here at the stripe.
Benefield, again, a name that we mentioned, sits around the middle of the pack for some of the race and then works his way forward slowly but surely, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Would you say it, Benefield's good to see?
It's good to see.
I heard our producer slap himself on that one. I sense disappointment.
Well, how about now we have Paul Bergoli and Paul Hill. 2 Pauls now side by side, just about. Paul Hill in the back, trying to see if he can get around. Oh, Bergoli up into the fence a little bit. It's not going to cost him anything, though. As Hill.
Right now. It's the Paul and Paul show, and unfortunately, Bergoli, I think, is overspent his hand here in that 12 machine. Those tires starting to fall off. Bergoli going to lose another spot here to Paul Hill.
Down, cross through the inside. There he goes. Paul Hill takes it away from Bergoli. Goose just ahead. Ooh. A little bit of wildness here. Russell Black right now. High on the outside. And it's aside from these little battles, these little tiny battles that are popping up all over the place. These guys have kind of found their groove a little bit. Look up here in the front, especially. You can see things are stringing out slowly but surely over the course of this now. We're down to less than 100 laps left in this race. Also, with lap 84 now in the books, lap 85 coming up any second now.
Watch Adam Benefield all over the back bumper, the 333 machine of Evan Say, but currently up at the front of the pack, 0.5 of a second advantage for Roger Pierce to Patrick Gitter. So we're going to go finish what we started. We're going to send it and get those last couple of words from our sponsors. We'll be back to bring you the rest of the racing action here on the grid.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the OB Builders Cup Series. And breaking news, did you know that DeWalt builds lawnmowers? No, neither did we. But here, watch it happen. Causey getting loose coming out of turn 4. The machine just yaws out a little bit there on the exit. Gets arrow loose off the nose of Benefield and about 180 miles an hour through the grass. Spinning here at Las Vegas, but look at this. Incredible job keeping the car off a pit road, because if he'd driven it down there the way the car wanted to spin, he'd pretty much be out for the rest of the race, because that would have been a 40-second hold.
Yeesh. Yeah. Out for the rest of the race is about right. You can't coming back from a 40-second hold when they're not throwing yellows for that kind of stuff. I mean, good luck.
I'm just impressed. You know, I knew that Stanley Black & Decker's partner company, Craftsman, made lawnmowers, but I did not know that they made a lithium-ion FlexVolt lawnmower as well. It's insane.
Brand new as of this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Darby says just a rebadge. Honestly, though, the lawnmower looked pretty cool with yellow and black. I'd go with it. Probably get, copyrighted from the other yellow and black tractor company, but hey.
I was about to say, yeah, does Caterpillar make a lawnmower? Am I thinking of someone else?
Speaking of which, the Caterpillar colors, which typically adorn your race leader, Roger Pierce, who has walked away to a 0.8 of a second advantage over Patrick Gitter in second place. Great segue there, if I do say so myself.
Wonderfully done.
Adam,
Wonderfully
Adam Benefield, though, working himself up to the back bumper is second place, Patrick Gitter. And Benefield showing something that we're used to seeing. When it comes into these late race runs, that 83 cars always get something extra up his sleeve. And hopefully an ace if anybody's going to try and get up there and battle with Pierce, because I think that Gitter has burnt those tires off on that machine. As we look at Brandon Passalacqua working the outside line here, trying to get past the 12 machine of Rigoli.
Passalacqua has been sitting right about this spot for most of the race, I believe. I'm not sure if he's gotten mixed up in any of the wrecking we've had so far, but he's only up one from where he started, so comfortably sat right now. But behind him, we've got some drivers that are trying to make up some speed. Daniel Wiles, very much trying to catch some speed right now. He's up 19 places from where he started, and he's only trying to climb a little bit higher, if possible, I'm sure.
Daniel Wiles is another driver that I can't say enough good things about here in the OB Builders Cup Series. Came into the season late. And, you know, you got late entries to a season. You don't really know what to expect. But Daniel Wiles has been just holding his own in this Team Conti Sim Performance America Racing Chevrolet. And putting together some really impressive runs and impressive numbers the weeks that he has been here. As well as that 41 machine right behind him, Bryce Rayner. Another driver that's kind of climbed through hell and high water to get up here into the top 10. They're in that 9th spot in 41. Good performance from him this evening.
Yeah, fantastic drive out of Bryce Rayner. Side by side right now, though. Look at that. Reese Schaefer down on the inside. With, I think that's Paul Bergoli high on the outside right now. Schaefer down to the apron. He's going to lose some speed. No, he's going to find it again. There on the inside.
And Reese Ironjaw Schaefer going to take the pass and move into the top 10 over Paul Bergoli. And Bergoli is just struggling so bad right now with those tires. You know, he is begging for a caution to come out to stop the bleeding, because he's lost so much track position on this run. Also, we have lost the 88 machine of Joseph Causey after the spin through the grass, opting to send it back behind the garage.
Oh, no, that sucks. I didn't think that was going to take him out completely, but maybe that 40-second hole was just too much, or did he have the hole? Did we confirm that?
It's just the amount of time he lost to that spin. About to go lap down. Up into the wall, though. Patrick Gitter right in front of Adam Benefield.
Oof, very close. Scary situations over and over again. Ooh, down, down, down. Chris Vincent. Very slow down to the inside of the track. Something happened here. He had an off-track situation. Chris Vincent's going to go down on the inside and try not to hold up too many things. Let's go in the way back machine and have a look here.
And the same thing we saw a little bit ago. Just going to get loose out of turn 4 potentially. Got Brandon Passalacqua close. Packs here to the rear spoiler. And yes, the round goes to 33.
Wow.
Cleaner charge to the grass, though.
Yeah, wow. Just look like he was trying to find a hidden road down there. Drove very straight through the grass and popped right back up onto the track. Virtually no problems for him there.
Looked like on Gran Turismo back in the day when we used to shortcut the tri-oval at Daytona to try and win it coming to the line.
That's funny. I assume that worked every once in a while?
Oh, it worked all the time. If you didn't go down
great.
there, you lost it, because the grass didn't really slow you down a whole lot. And with the boost and the slipstream turned on high, we'd be going like 240. It was terrifying.
That's beautiful. Just beautiful. Gitter.
As we look now. Gitter falling into the clutches of Evan Say. Say in the 333 machine working the outside line through 1 and 2. This is the longest run we've seen so far today. Evan with the advantage down the backstretch, pulling the side draft to try and move himself up into 3rd spot right behind Adam Benefield. And I don't look now, but Benefield's starting to close on your race leader. Handful of laps ago, he was a 2.5 seconds back. Now moving himself to 0.4 of a second off the rear bumper of the 27 machine here at the start-finish line.
Roger Pierce, this is the drive that I got to say I kind of expected to see out of Sean Conklin, that unfortunately we're not going to get a chance to see tonight, I got a feeling. But it's good to see it out of somebody. Someone has come here to Las Vegas and just gone on a hot streak. Bet after bet they've made has paid off, and so far Roger Pierce has not just been leading the race, but he has had to defend that spot more than once against people trying to take it from him.
Yeah, right now the problem for Conklin is he is sitting in 21st place right now, and reason being still heavy damage to the right side of that 10 machine, and I'm pretty sure a bit of suspension damage to go with it. So he's going to need a handful of cautions if he wants to even have a chance to recover.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Chris Hudson right now working the outside line. Randy Mullins trying to make the comeback after the wreck earlier. You take a look at the standings. Brandon Paslock, where he's running right now, will officially move himself into second spot over Justin Levine.
Taking a look at those live standings, though. Conklin way out ahead with those 15 wins.
Yeah, no, this at this point, I don't think there's really mathematically any way that Conklin loses the title. And he's completely locked. 15 wins, dominating runs. I mean, I don't think he's had a really any finishes outside the top 10 this season. It's been an impressive run of things for him here this season. As we see Evan Say taking over the second spot over Adam Benefiel. And also watching Paul Hill get down to the inside of the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter to try and take away third. Side by side down the back straightaway. Currently Gitter with the advantage. The outside line momentum pulling him past the 26 machine. Here comes the 26 taking a peek back to the bottom at 3 and 4.
Once he's got
the air cut off coming out turn 4.
26 machine has got the angle. He wants that spot real bad. Well, let's see if he's going to try to attack. Which side he's going to ultimately attack. It looks like he's signaling high a little bit. I think that's just going to be a little bit of a red herring. Let's watch him go down to the inside as soon as he gets the chance here. Wait for the speed, the cross up maybe, or is he going to go for it?
Good run there for Paul Hill. Almost comes back to bite him, though. You see a huge wiggle coming out turn 4, but he's going to keep his foot in it and power it down the front straightaway to try and build the advantage to the 21 of Gitter. Gitter working the inside line, though, trying not to give up the spot. The back end comes out on the 21 a little bit, loses a bunch of momentum, and that gives a spot to Paul Hill.
Beautiful. Look at that. Really impressive. Really impressive. As we scan through the rest of the field now, taking a look for what's going on. You can see here Chris Hudson high on the outside. That lovely looking 43 car tucked in right behind Randy Mullins, who's back out on the track after Mullins was I think he was he was involved in. I forget, he wasn't really responsible for it. It was a bad situation, but he was involved in our first yellow there.
It feels like a lifetime ago with the racing we've seen since then, too. But Mullins definitely trying to work on the recovery drive right now. As we look at DeCiani, somebody we haven't mentioned all night, taking away the spot from Paul Bergoli. It's been an unusually quiet evening from that 5 machine.
It's true. That's true. But this is about the time that you do see DeCiani and guys like Benefiel start to turn it up a little bit.
And right now we're seeing the 333 machine of MC trying to turn it up as he closes to the back bumper of the 27. It was a 0.5 of a second advantage a few laps ago. Now down to 2. But Roger Pierce getting a good drive up off of 3 and 4 to pull himself ahead. But Evan is here.
Evan Say now closing the gap, making it a competitive race once again up here at the front. I was just saying Roger Pierce has had to hold off the people who have attacked the front of the race, and here we have another attack in the form of Evan Say.
All over the back bumper on the front straightaway. Roger Pierce throws a last-second block to try and cover the top into 1 and 2. Evan Say peeks down to the bottom, and Evan sends it in deep. And it's going to stick. Tries to pull the slide job, and it works. Evan Say, now your race leader.
Nice play, Evan Say. Very well done.
What pace that CFM Chevrolet has had here tonight. You know, Evan, not somebody that we've typically seen in the positive here on these long runs, but really hasn't figured out this evening. Did you see him try to pull an advantage over Roger Pierce, but Pierce not one to give up. Going to try and work the outside line to build momentum down the back straightaway to close to the back bumper.
Let's see if he can do it. Can he get back down to that back bumper? High on the outside. There's some speed there. I don't think so, anyway.
Evan is just able to... It's crazy. Evan just has such good entry rotation. He was sending it so deep into the corner. Those couple laps where he was really closing the advantage to Roger. And it just feels like he can be way more aggressive on corner entry, and that's where he's making the gain right now. Also coming over the radio, the 3-car of Lou Christian reporting that he's coming to take 4 tires and fuel, as well as the 41 of Rayner and the 43 of Chris Hudson.
Got some guys getting set up for the last, what should be the last stretch here, if they're going to stay green the rest of the way, I'm guessing.
And this right here, this is one of the tracks, you know, it's like last week, week 4 last at Kansas, where, you know, you don't really have to fight the racing surface too much. You can run, you know, probably about 200 laps before you start to get a little tired. Las Vegas, different story. All the bumps in this next-gen car, it's a lot of stuff you have to make micro calculations for, and it'll really wear you out. And these guys on, you know, one of the longer green flag runs they probably ran all week in any series. Probably some of these guys starting to feel the effects of that. As Roger Pierce signals down to the bottom, probably going to come in and take 4 tires and fuel this time. Yes, he does. You see him send it down pit road. And a clean pit entry for the 27 machine. No lockups, no speeding. Paul Hill also coming down the 26, Camry.
Lots of different strategies at play here, but I think they're all going to kind of add up together by the time we get to the end of the race, and we're going to have a very competitive finish. I've got that feeling in my blood here that we're going to have a good competitive finish.
Looking a little bit of altering strategy here. A handful of guys staying out. Some guys coming in for the undercut. Evan Say with the advantage. Adam Benefield in second. Paul Gallimore brings the 17 machine, or the 71 machine down. And Daniel Wiles working himself up to 3rd spot here. Gets past Patrick Gitter. Not too far behind his pseudo Team Conti teammate in 3rd place.
Pseudo Team Conti teammate.
Oh, they've got the same stickers on the car, but driving for different teams.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, at least by different, but same stickers. I mean, they both run in Team Conti Sim Performance setups underneath the car, just like how a bunch of these guys here in the field run Ryko, which is, you know, the same stuff that the Victory One guys are running. You see Benefield kicking up a little bit of dirt coming down pit road. He leads Bryce, Rayner, Russell Black, and a handful of others. 2 Machina Hyatt leaving pit road. Chris Crosby coming down pit road. MSA opting to stay out on track, trying to stretch this run as long as he can so he can have the freshest tires to chase him down later in the run.
Yep. That's going to be, I guess that is definitely the strat, is just to get them down so that you'll have the best tires later. You'll be the one who's got them. I just hope that it pays off for him.
Coming down pit road, as well as the 5 of Matt DiCiani.
Here
and
he
race
is.
leader.
Yes, sir. Evan Say. Blinking pretty hard there as he's coming down pit road.
Hands the front running spots over to Brandon Pasalacqua and Reese Schaefer. It's going to be interesting to see how the strategy works out. Roger Pierce is going to have a huge advantage over the rest of these guys as early as he came down pit road. But the question is going to be, when is he going to hit that plateau point with the tires?
It's a darn good question. That plateau point could really hit at any point during what's really the second half of this race here, especially with how hard he's been driving the tires. But he's got new tires on, so my guess, your guess is as good as mine here. I haven't been keeping greatest of track of when the last time he got tires was.
There's the advantage right there. Roger Pierce is going to have about a straightaway gap to Evan Say. Evan Say is just now leaving pit road, just now transitioning back onto the racing service. As Reese Schaefer comes down pit road in the 97 machine. It's going to pull Randy Mullins down as well. These two stretching it as far as they possibly can on the fuel window. Safety machine of Pasalacqua now leaving pit road. And this will hand the lead back over to Roger Pierce with a 2-second gap between him and Adam Benefiel.
Not bad at all. Roger Pierce. I think that he's got the staying power for tonight's race.
Across the stripe. Officially Roger Pierce's lead again. 7/10 or 6/10 of a second separating him and Benefiel. And honestly, Evan Say didn't lose a whole lot of time there and has a huge advantage on the tires. Only 2 seconds back. Not even that. 1.6 seconds separating him from race leader Roger Pierce. This could be an Evan night. Five-lap difference in tires, which may not sound like much, but here on the iRacing service, I mean, that can be a night and day difference, especially on a track as abrasive and weathered as Las Vegas. And you see the time difference right now. Say cutting it down from 1.5 seconds down to 1.2 that last lap. Now trying to break even at a second.
29.6 versus 30.1 in terms of the times there. Very, very close.
Also, I guarantee you, too, at the same time that Roger Pierce realized that he was maybe a little too aggressive on the tires at the end of that long run. Probably trying to take a little bit of time off it. Keep these...
Okay.
And Evan Say working himself back into the picture. Patrick Gitter as well, just 1.5 seconds back from your race leaders. Great run so far for Paul Hill on the 26 machine, sitting there 5th place. Daniel Wiles doing Daniel Wiles things, working himself up in the late stages, up into P6. Brandon Pasalacqua, Reese Schaefer, two well-known long-run drivers sitting in 7th and 8th over Lou Christian in 9th. Much better run of things here tonight for Lou as opposed to last night in the Wednesday night top split, because it felt like Lou just basically got hit with anything that could be thrown out on the track. Currently a great run for the 17 machine of Paul Gallimore as well, sitting in the top 10. Not somebody we typically talk about. Good, clean run for him this evening from Las Vegas, which is something that he's desperately hunting for, because it's been a very bad luck Brian season for him.
Bad luck Brian season. I like that one. You got to trademark that one, buddy. Keep that one in the back pocket. I like it.
I do think, yeah, I agree. I think Bad Luck Brian actually has the trademark on Bad Luck Brian.
Well, fair enough. He as well he should.
One of those classic early days internet memes I know trademarked their likeness, which was brilliant.
Yeah, that was very smart. Whoever, I'm trying to think of who did it. Anyway, yeah, it's a genius idea.
Well, I can tell you, it wasn't Scumbag Steve. There's no way it was Scumbag Steve.
No, I don't think it was him.
Fedora Man.
I don't think so either. Yeah, it's that hat on Scumbag Steve. You know, it's just a look. You can't necessarily patent a look.
Oh, we got one car spinning through the grass on the front straightaway, keeping it straight now. Right in front of the leaders is the 58 machine of Kleinman. Comes out turn 4, a little too much on the loud pedal, a little too much wheel in it. Snaps around through the grass, but a great job keeping the car pointing in the right direction to keep us under green, because that could have been devastating for, well, much of the excitement here, because we got so much going on here with the tires.
Tires are starting to become the name of the game during this race.
That's what I love about Las Vegas. You know, a lot of these mountain-half tracks, that they don't really have a lot of character, but you come to a place like this, or, you know, it's starting to work itself into old Atlanta territory, where you really start to get some high-wear races, a lot of comers and goers. Did you see the 27 machine of Roger Pearson now trying to work his way past the lap machine of Joshua Hyatt? Hyatt, big wiggle through 1 and 2. Just through clear. Now Adam Benefield trying to make it work on the outside through 3 and 4. And he's going to be able to do so. As the 2 machine of Hyatt just opting to try and stay out of the way the best he can here. Now Absay takes his turn.
And Sheldon, I'm going to let you hold on to things for a few minutes. I will be right back on the broadcast in just a little bit, folks.
And 4, I'll be sure to cover Roger Pierce up here at the front of the pack right now in the Eric Jones Foundation Toyota Camry, as we look back at Conklin right now, and just a day of what could have been for the driver of that 10 machine. Unfortunate contact between him and Busa. And a night that he could have walked out $100 richer, just goes sideways quicker than you can blink an eye. He's hanging on right now with heavy damage to the right side of the car, a little bit of toe damage underneath the car, trying to hold off the 43 machine of Chris Hudson. Hudson all over the back bumper, though. Hudson looks down to the inside to make the pass here. Down to the bottom of 1 and 2, the 43 machine trying to make it work. They're tight door to door. Conklin going to fight back with the outside line, but Hudson keeping his foot in it down the back straightaway. They're going to be dead even in 3. Hudson sliding up the hill ever so slightly, almost into the door of the 10 machine. Conklin tags the fence out of turn 4, and all this happening right in front of the 12 machine of Paul Bergoli. If you're Paul Bergoli, this is the last thing you want to see out your window. Now Paul Bergoli going to go opportunistic, take the outside line through 1 and 2, and take over the 13th spot as he sets his eyes on Sean Conklin for 12. Conklin lets Bergoli have the position out of 3 and 4. Now Chris Hudson tries to take another stab at it. To the back bumper into 1 and 2. Hudson peeking to the bottom through 1 and 2. Trying to get clean air to the nose of that Mustang. In the back straightaway, though, Conklin maintains the advantage. Hudson fakes up to the outside line now, trying to make the pass on the 10 machine. Through 1 and 2, Hudson going to try and use that outside line advantage. Finally has the ability to build momentum. Tags the fence a little bit, but it's going to be enough to hold even down the back straightaway with a little bit of extra momentum even. And he's going to take the spot away into 3 and 4. We set our eyes back to Roger Pierce, 0.4 of a second separating him from the 83 machine of Adam Benefield. 4/10 of a second separating $100 here for these guys. And just a handful of laps remaining. Only 35 to go here from Las Vegas.
And I'm back. How's things?
Oh, they're thinging.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Good if you're Roger Pierce.
Certainly are right now.
Here comes Adam Benefield taking a peek down to the bottom into 3 and 4. Pierce gets held up a little bit by the 71 machine as he's trying to put him down a lap.
Ooh.
Pierce was a great run through 3 and 4 to hold himself steady against the hard charge from the 83 machine of Benefield. And Evan Say starting to creep his way back into the picture, 6/10 of a second. Remember, he's on 5-lap pressure tires in these two cars in front of him. He's going to have to work hard because Roger Pierce that's not going to be an easy guy to pass at any point in a race, especially in the closing laps. You tack a $100 bounty on top of that, and you're in for a risky combination of events. As we watch Reese Schaefer try to make something happen against the 26 machine of Paul Hill, pulls up in front, slams the door in Paul Hill's face down the back straightaway. Paul Hill looks to the inside, but not going to be able to get there. And here comes Benefield.
We've mentioned him so many times throughout the race. Here he is now in second. Eyes on Roger Pierce with just 3/10 separating the two of them, but Pierce is pulling away a little bit.
If you're Pierce right now, you're sweating. You're hoping that you've saved enough on this run. And remember at the back end of the first run, first long green flag run we had, the 27 machine lost a little bit of its mojo. The question is it going to be able to hold on for the longest run of the night? Especially nerve-wracking, too, when you have probably one of the most consistent long-run drivers starting to work himself into your mirror with Adam Benefield. Week in and week out, that's guy right there's one of the benchmarks for a lot of the people here on the services. He grabs the apron a little bit and almost loses it. Ears must have been turning red. Heard me talking about him. Benefield going to lose a whole bunch of time. Here comes Evan Say with an opportunistic pass around the outside to get past the 83 machine into one.
Yeah, that was a smooth move from Say. I gotta say, I didn't mean to make that pun. Anyways, very smooth move there from Evan Say as he saw the opportunity and took it. Moved up into second place. Benefield, unfortunate after that really powerful run. To see him have to cycle back there to third, but I think that this could be a comfortable spot for him to run out the rest of the race while still having a chance to maybe move out back up to second or even challenge for first.
And the good news for Roger Pierce is that one little mistake from Benefield is going to give that 27 machine a little bit of breathing room. You know, he knows that the 83 was charging on those tires, but now a second back with a car in between him and the 83 machine. It's going to be really difficult for Adam Benefield to mount a charge as competitive as these three machines are with each other tonight. And if I'm Roger Pierce, I'm thinking, you know, maybe I am a little bit better on tires than the 333 machine, because even though he's got 5-lap fresher Goodyears, Evan closed a substantial amount of gap on Roger Pierce early on that run, and I'm kind of willing to believe that maybe he burned those tires a little too much when they were still cold.
No. So they're not going to do him any benefit right now then. Let's see here. Eyes on the situation with the number 10 out in front.
Yeah,
or excuse me,
right
not out
here.
in front. And this is Sean Conklin right now.
Yep, Sean Conklin right now just trying to hold on and stop the bleeding on older tires. Heavy damage to the right side of that 10 Randy Bell Construction Camry. Now stuck 3 wide. DeCiani looks to the outside, falls back in line down the back straightaway. And Chris Vincent trying to get by him as well. Conklin hanging onto the middle lane. Vincent slides up a little bit. Up into the fence goes DeCiani. DeCiani losing a whole bunch of time. That opens the door for Mullins, and now Vincent looks to the outside of Conklin into one.
That's the 33 right there.
Oh, and Conklin's going to get tight. Shut the door in the 33 machine's face. And Vincent going to give him a shot down the back straightaway. Was not a fan of that move.
No, he wasn't.
He's probably going to give him a door here at some point.
Oh, no. Let's find out. I don't know. It's possible, just possible, that Sean Conklin doesn't want to get involved in a similar incident to the one he had earlier with Busa.
Vincent going to slide up out of turn 2, shut the door in Conklin's face, and with the amount of damage, I think Conklin's just going to have to ride here and try to mount a charge against the guys behind him. We set our sight on Randy Mullins now. The 54 machine still working on that recovery tour. Put together a pretty strong race, though, with the broken foot. I mean, I couldn't imagine running this many laps around Las Vegas with a broken foot.
Oof. Oh, man. Yeah, Mullins. That's just killer. That is killer. And the fact that he's stuck it out and he's still in it, sitting 18th right now. Just good on you, man. Yeah, absolutely. I hope the foot heals well, though, even after this situation.
Definitely not the result that he was looking for, but definitely a drive of grit and endurance for the 54 machine. Just hang on this long. I mean, I can't imagine how bad it had to hurt coming down pit road, because you got to use a lot of left foot brake to get these cars settled to come into pit road and then into your box. That had to have been excruciating.
Well, he did it with grace and aplomb, from our point of view, at least. So once again, hope that you feel better soon, man.
Right now, the field still in the hands of Roger Pierce as he tries to steal away a win here from Las Vegas. It's been a dominating drive here in the late stages of this event. Took the lead early and hasn't looked back. Probably, you know what, I'm just going to say it. This is the best drive we've seen out of Roger Pierce. And he's been putting together good runs, just hasn't been able to get the finishes. Stuff happening late race, taking him out of contention. But tonight, it looks like Lady Luck might just be shining in his favor.
She might just be the goddess of victory. Could be waiting.
You see the 3 machine, Luke Christian, tagged the fence or got sideways there through 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, let's see it.
3 and 4, actually. Just gets in there, and I think that 17 is going to take the air off the spoiler. Yes, he does, and around goes the 3 machine through the grass. Not a whole lot of air time for the 3, though.
Back to live here. Let's see how things are going. We're on 158 of 175. Coming down to the wire very soon here.
I just can't say it enough. How about this run from Paul Gallimore sitting in 9th place right now? Like I've said, it has been a roller coaster season for him. More often on the downslide than the uptick, but putting together a great performance here from Las Vegas on just one of the longest green flag stints we've had. It's got to be a good feeling for him. Some much needed momentum for that 17 team.
And around goes Gallimore.
Over the front of the pack, though, watching Roger Pierce rip the outside line to try and hold the 333 machine of Evan Say at bay. But Evan starting to close in ever so slightly. This is the stage in the run where he really had a lot of pace compared to the 27 machine. And I'm wondering if we're about to see the same thing.
Let's see. Let's see. Much more pace. The pace compared to the 27 machine?
Yeah.
Oh, Pierce, yeah.
This is around where we saw him start to carve into that advantage of Roger Pierce earlier in the race.
That's true.
And Roger, all he's got to do, though, he's got to just run clean, try to take the air off of the nose of that 333 machine, and he'll be able to hold Evan behind him if he can just hit his marks. That's all Roger has to do right now. But that, with these tires built up the way they are, the ever-changing nature of the track, and the dynamics of the car, this is where it starts to get tricky. It's so easy to put yourself in a position to make a mistake at this stage in the run. If there's anybody that can do it, it's going to be that guy in the 27 machine. But Evan is all but working himself up to the rear bumper here. Across the stripe that time. Roger Pierce, a 34.76. Evan Say, a 34.05. Closing, albeit slowly, but he's closing.
Nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking, especially when we are almost down to 10 laps left. Only got about 13 right now left on the board before the end of tonight's race. It's been a nail-biter. It's had some changes up in front. We've had some big wrecks, some small wrecks. It's been wild so far, folks. We hope you've been enjoying the race as we've been going around here in Las Vegas and placing our bets, watching the wheels spin round and round, and Lady Luck has been landing where she will for several different drivers here who have been able to make it around, and the ones who can't, well, we'll see them around next time, hopefully.
Across the stripe that time, 1/1000th, separating your leaders on pace, a 356 to a 357. Roger Pierce with the advantage right now. Across the stripe, Pierce, great lap from him, though, going to pull about a 10th on that machine in second place. And that's what it comes down to at this point in the game, hundredths and thousandths. And Adam Benefield just running there ever so out of the picture. If he hadn't made that mistake on the apron, could have probably been door-to-door with Roger Pierce to finish this thing out. Because he is running the fastest lap times out of anybody in the top 5.
Yeah. It really unfortunate that situation happened that put Benefield back a few places, because he would have been door-to-door with Roger Pierce right now.
My inner teenager just came out. I just realized what Evan Say's flag is, by the way.
Oh, no. What is it?
Would you like to read it for us? Would you like to read it for us, Joe?
His flag?
Yeah.
No, I'll let you read it.
Oh, he's got it listed as he's from Djibouti.
Oh. Haha. Oh, my goodness. That takes me back. The first time you hear it, it makes you laugh.
Laughing until you snorted milk across your world geography class.
Basically, yeah.
But that's the brand of humor we appreciate here on Grid Vision.
Yeah,
anybody's
I'm
watched
here
our
for
Wednesday nights, they know how out of pocket they can get. Sometimes we get yelled at for it. Right now, Roger Pierce still maintaining that gap. That's all he has to do is just run good, clean, concise laps. No big mistakes, and he could take this thing home. Just 9 laps remaining. So he gets ready to come across the line to take us to 8 to go.
Here we are, getting down to that wire and feeling good here as the sun is setting at Vegas. Right after this, everyone's going to go hit the tables, I'm sure of it.
Most of these guys are going to hit the sack. Right now, we got a battle shaking up, though, for 4th place. Reese Schaefer getting up to the back bumper of the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. Wasn't enough there through 1 and 2. Gitter going to use the outside line momentum to carry him down the back straightaway. Schaefer looks back down to the bottom into 3 and 4. And look who has found himself into the picture in 6th place is the 6th machine of Brandon Passalacqua as he closes to the back of the 97.
Passalacqua behind the 97 here. We got eyes on that situation. Schaefer down to the inside. Passalacqua opts to stay on that middle groove right there. He's found it. He likes it. It's going to work for him, but he is going to get all the way up to the boards on the back straight. Let's see what he decides to do here. Oh, okay. He abandons that middle line during 3 and 4. Goes in a little deeper than Schaefer this time.
Yeah, but the momentum's not going to carry the bottom lane. Not able to compete with the run off the top for Reese Schaefer. Schaefer going to pull ahead, but all 3 of these cars just log jammed. Nobody able to find the advantage they need to take battle to each other. And up at the front of the pack now, 0.5 of a second separating Roger Pierce, doing a masterful job saving tires as he comes across the stripe here. From now to turn forward, at least to 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go here. We did a $1.75. Oh no.
Through the grass, the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter gets loose out of turn 4. A costly mistake. With just a handful of laps to go, it's going to take him well out of the top 5.
Very costly mistake. Let's see how that costly mistake started off.
It's the first mistake we've seen out of the 21 machine all night. Just comes out of turn 4, a little too loud on the pedal and through the grass. 6 points for airtime there as he jumps over the Legends Oval. That's going to solidify Reese Schaefer into 4th place as he tries to hold off a hard-charging Brandon Pasalacqua. But up at the front of the pack now. Lights getting ready to come on. This race has run well into the evening here. The 27 machine of Roger Pierce leading by 0.5 of a second as he comes across the line to take the Dale flag. 3 laps to go into 1.
3 laps to go. The Dale flag. I like that. You're going to explain that one to me later. Roger
Dale,
Pierce.
number 3.
Well, I mean, like, why is 3 laps to go the Dale flag? Oh, because 3.
3.
Oh, I'm
Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Brain fart. Okay. I'm
and
here.
Right now, Evan Say trying everything possible up into the fence out of turn 4. Rode way wide through the corner. Just gave it his all, but it does not work. 2 laps to go for Roger Pierce.
He's out there looking for that white flag. Let's see if he can get it into the back stretch first, though. He's got to make it, and the rest of the field's got to allow it. Let's see if they do. 7/10 ahead of Evan Say right now.
Across the start-finish line, white flag. 1 lap to go here from Las Vegas for the OB Builders Cup Series. Roger Pierce. Just been an incredible drive for him tonight. Showed so much pace earlier in the evening. And has more or less made this race his own. With a $100 bounty on the line, Roger Pierce sends it down to turn 3 to take us to the checkered flag. And Roger Pierce leading out onto the front straightaway across the line, and $100 richer is Roger Pierce as he wins from Las Vegas.
All right. Wonderful finish for Roger Pierce.
And bringing it home 2nd place, not the run that he was hoping for. He wanted to get the win tonight, but Evan Say, a great run, though, nonetheless. Get that 2nd spot on the podium over 3rd place, Adam Benefiel. Tell you what, it wasn't easy. Roger Pierce had to fight through some adversity today. Great car, great drive, though. Gets the job done from Las Vegas. And this is a much needed burnout for that 27 machine because, like I said, it has been a up and down couple of months for him. But second or 3rd win on the season, I do believe, for Roger.
That's an excellent stat, considering that, we had someone on the field who's won 15 races. Just getting out there and taking it away is going to be a beautiful feeling.
Absolutely. As we get the unofficial results pulled up, it is Roger Pierce victorious here from the desert over Evan Say in 2nd. 3rd going to Adam Benefiel with Brandon Pasalacqua carving out a strong 4th place finish tonight to solidify 2nd in points. 5th place going to Reese Schaefer, followed by Paul Hill in 6th. 7th goes to Daniel Wiles with Patrick Gitter, Paul Gallimore, and Paul Bergoli rounding out your top 10.
Moving right along, Bryce Rayner in 11th, Chris Hudson in 12th. Then you have Chris Vinson, Lou Christian, Matt DeCiani, Greg Carr, Sean Conklin, Russell Black, Chris Crosby, and in 20th, Randy Mullins.
And bringing it home, 21st on the evening, going to be the 28 machine of Tim Wortman Jr., followed by Jose Medina in 22nd. 23rd goes to Joshua Hyatt with Keith Long at 24th. 25th place going to Richard Kleiman with John Bender in 26th. 27th going to Joseph Causey with Shane Clore, Matt Busa, Nolan Hodgson, and Derek Heitman rounding out the 31-car field.
And it was a situation where it looks like Sean Conklin never fully recovered from that run-in with Matt Busa. The bounty goes claimed, I guess, in this case, by Roger Pierce, right?
Absolutely, and well-deserved. Roger just put together a perfect race. I mean, even before Sean got caught up in the wreck, Roger was up at the front of the field, large and in charge. And I think he probably learned something there too, because he was way better on that second run than he was in the first one. But now it's time to start pulling drivers up here for our post-race interview, and I'm going to start out with third-place finisher tonight, Adam Benefield. And Adam, just talk me through it, man. Tell me about your race. It was a nice drive through the field.
Yeah, it was good. The car was good. Just kind of took our time and tried to be patient. Worked our way up to the top 5, and then got up there to Roger and Evan. Felt like we had a good car. Just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, it just seems like one small mistake that I feel like you wish that you could have had back. It looked like when you clipped the apron there, you might have overheated the tires a little bit through 3 and 4. Once you end up in Evan's wake, it seemed like it was just impossible for you to get back to him. Is there anything aside from that you could have done different here tonight?
Yeah, that's kind of what me and Evan were talking about. The way that how the weather was transitioning into night, and the track temp was dropping pretty dramatically. Both of us were anticipating that the gaps were going to be bigger after green flag pit stops, and like Roger, I think pitted 3 or 4 laps before me, and then Evan 2 laps after me, and we come out, we only got 1.5 seconds in between us, and so that kind of threw us for a loop. And then to be honest, I really don't think that I went far enough on the pit stop adjustment for the cooler track. So I think I would have got to Roger, but I don't think I would have got by him. He drove a hell of a race. There's no doubt about it. He deserved it. I mean, he did everything right. So, yeah.
So after probably one of the longest green flag runs we've had this weekend, anything that has to do with the Cup car, man, how you feeling?
I feel good. I like that kind of stuff. I like, the longer the better, the more it's green, the better I thrive with. I don't like short run stuff. I think that everybody on this service, if they know me, they know that. So it was fun. I hate to see Coughlin get, screwed like that when they put a bounty on him. It's kind of a fucked up deal, if you ask me. They should probably hold it and redo it, in my opinion, and give him a fighting chance to actually hold up the bounty. But it was, I'm not putting all blame on Boost. It was a 2-way show. I seen the replay, and yeah, they were racing really hard and probably took it a bit too far, but sucks that he didn't really get a chance to fight for it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you too, honestly, on it, because I feel like we get a rematch on it here. I feel like Roger's definitely deserving of the bounty tonight, but I feel like we need a rematch. I mean, the 2 guys made a big mistake, and it completely changed the complexion of the bounty because there was no opportunity for Sean. So I definitely agree with you on that one, Adam. But to round it all out here tonight, who all do you want to thank and shout out for the 3rd place finish?
Just Michael Conti with this Cup car. He's on one right now. He has been for a minute. So it's just if he can get a damn driver that's not old and won't miss his marks at a track he's probably raced at for over 12 years now. He's got a hell of a car, and he's doing an unbelievable job. And everybody at Team Conti Sim Performance, for everything that they do. We got some pretty cool stuff coming, some big stuff coming here shortly. So pretty excited to announce that. And then Randy for this awesome league, and you guys, y'all know that. I say it time and time again. Y'all are my favorite broadcast. I enjoy it because y'all don't bullshit. Y'all call it like it is, and I applaud y'all for that. And then yeah, that's about it.
Well, Adam, we appreciate you stepping up here and also being so hard on yourself, man. Your old ass is setting the benchmark for Conti here week in and week out. So look forward to seeing what you got in store next week at, Talladega. So there's not really much you can do, is there?
No, I'll probably end up in a cage fence or something.
Well, hey, at least do a flip. Make it exciting for us.
There you go.
I'm going to hand it on over to my wonderful co-commentator here, Joe LaCastro, with our second place finisher on the evening, Evan Say.
That's me. And hey, Evan, can you hear us up here in the booth?
Yep, I got you.
All right, my friend. Hey, you led 9 laps of this race, but you were a name that came up right around the middle of the race. We were like, where is he coming from? All of a sudden, Evan Say. And you started to move up and have challenge after challenge that you were able to overcome. Really, up until the couple times you were able to lead this race. Tell us about this, a little bit about how this went from your perspective. When did you feel it click?
Yeah, I really didn't know how his car was gonna do, to be honest. So hadn't run a race on it yet, but I felt like it was gonna be decent. So the first round we had there was a little tight, so just made a couple adjustments. Didn't feel that good, and then the second round we made some more adjustments, and after that we kind of just left it alone and went with it. And at second to last run we was rowing pretty good there, but I think I was running like 4th or 5th, and didn't feel like I could get up front. But the more laps we clicked off there, kind of the more we maintained, I guess, and the more everyone else fell off, and was able to get the lead and keep driving away after that. And probably should have just been the first one of us up front in the pit. Our lap times have fallen off enough that you can gain second or two lap if you pitted before someone. So I think I just stayed out too long, hoping that I could just pass them back on tires. But just wasn't that much of a difference on tires, I guess, at the end. And the track cooled off a little bit also, kind of negating, I think, our speed we had when it was a little bit warmer. But still, I think if we could have just pitted before everyone else, kind of just a mistake on my part to maintain the lead, that it would have been hard for anyone to pass us. But still pretty good run for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty good run. Got you this silver medal. Who do you think gave you the hardest time during tonight's race?
Really, I didn't really try and force any passes, to be honest. In the beginning, I was kind of just riding behind guys and just waiting to see where our car was going to be at, because I had no idea if we'd be, bad on a long run or really good like we ended up being. So, after that, once you get into a run and somebody sees you coming up on them pretty fast, we're on a league is, most of us ain't competing for $1,000 or anything. So, most of the passes can be pretty easy. But, I knew Roger was going to be pretty tough once I got to him. But, he was struggling a little bit in 3 and 4, trying to hold it down. And, like I said, when the track was a little bit warmer before it cooled off at the very end, we could just really take advantage of that, and he couldn't do anything about it. But, still, like I said, it's a good run for us. Last time I was out at Kansas, ran second, so hopefully we can do one spot better next time.
Alrighty. Hey, is there anybody you'd like to shout out to or thank for your performance this week?
Yeah, just everybody at CFM Performance, Vicente Salas, keeping us rolling on the setups, the speed he's been putting out, so got to thank him. Everybody at VLR, CFME Sports, Captain Morgan, Red Line, and everybody else put on this league for us. It's fun to come out and just have some fun, and it's not an official race, run a little bit more laps, and get some long runs in.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Evan, for joining us up here in the booth. That was second place, Evan Say. Hopefully we'll see you up here again, maybe after Talladega. Who knows, right?
Yep, who knows in that place.
All right. Thanks, Evan. You take care. Have a good rest of your night.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Hey, Sheldon, I'm passing it back to you, buddy. Take it away.
And I'm sitting alongside with race winner and a bounty claimer, Roger Pierce. And the first thing I want to ask you doesn't even have anything to do with the race that we saw tonight. You got a lot of cool stuff going on in the background right now in life, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about it, Roger.
Yeah, last weekend we went to Dominion Raceway in Virginia, and D2 Motorsports was going in there in first and third in ownership points and first in driver's points. We secured the Owners Championship and the Drivers Championship last weekend, so that was a lot of fun. Got to shout out Jeremy Mayfield, Chrissy Wallace for the amazing opportunity to run with those guys and learn as much as I can and as fast as I can. I mean, it's been a really fun ride with them.
Absolutely. I mean, you're setting yourself up with amazing opportunities because, when you work with names like that and get into successful positions there, that's the kind of stuff that carries. They notice the guy, in the trophy pictures and everything. So excited to see what comes with you next in the future on that. We're going to bring it back to tonight. A lot of drama to start this thing off, but one thing remained the same, and that 27 machine was up at the front. Just tell me, how did it feel tonight?
Roller coaster. I mean, you can knock one of us down and another one's going to step right back up. That's what I'm going to say about that. The bounty was placed. Sean and I race aggressive as it is, so I knew it was going to be pretty fun. Early on in the race, lap 3 incident, I took the top side to get some clean air because, clean air's king here. Came out of 4. I was on the wall. Randy got collected. I'm pretty sure Schaefer was below. Not really sure exactly what happened there, so we're going to go back and look at that, but sorry, those guys involved. As I fast forward through, I normally just burn my tires off, and I've been trying to learn really, really hard how to save pace and let the race come to me. And I felt like since Gateway, it's just been a downhill spiral. Gateway, NIS, I've just been getting crashed out, not finishing races, not doing well, putting myself down. So this is definitely what I needed. Adam and Evan definitely had the long run speed. The track changed like 7 times throughout that whole race. You couldn't see because it was so dark, and then it was sunny, and then it was really shady. So really glad this Victory One Toyota was able to go through all the paces and come across the finish line.
Yeah, even if the track doesn't change at Las Vegas, visually the track changes about 120 times anyway, just throughout like 10 laps. At least that's how it's always felt to me. But I noticed something, that first run, Evan got back to you and about blew the doors off. Did you learn something in that moment? Because that last run, you were lights out, perfect.
I was tight in 1, so I was really good in 3 and 4 on that first run. But I started getting tight because the way the bumps are, you have to either hit the bump head on with the left front or be above it, but you have to have the rotation if you're going to be above it. And I just kept losing rotation. So on the pit stop, I threw some adjustments in there and I made it pretty loose, loose enough for me to drive, and it kind of just helped. It was a little scary out of 4 sometimes because it kind of wanted to wiggle, but it definitely helped in 1 and 2, especially long run with like 15 to go. I would just start kind of low, wash up middle, and then exit higher than middle, and I just kept getting a really good run going into 3. So I was just kind of watching lap times, seeing where I was at. A lot closer on fuel than I realized. I went to do a burnout and ran out of fuel, so that was fun. But yeah, I mean, you're always learning, right? Like you want to chase the rabbit to make yourself better, right? And so this time, you follow Sean, you follow Gitter, follow Busa, you follow any of those guys, and you're learning, right? And so when he passed me, I was seeing how he was exiting, how he was entering, because I couldn't do that the first run. So as soon as we pit, I was kind of just running solid times, not trying to burn off the tires. And then when I saw Adam go, I knew it was time to go.
Roger, you were the rabbit tonight, so congratulations on getting the job done here from Vegas. Who do you want to thank and shout out?
Oh, first off, Victory One, Ken, Sean, Paul, Isaac. They're not all of them weren't here tonight, but like I said, you knock us down, we're gonna step right back up. So thank you guys for the amazing sets. I mean, all the hard work that gets put into this car. I mean, we were still working on this car until today. Like we're not done. We're not happy with where we're at. So we just keep improving. Obviously running a special paint scheme for this part of October, the Eric Jones Foundation, Window of Hope. I'm big into any type of cancer awareness, so it's an honor to run this car. Gossip Bus Lines, Randy Belk Construction. Randy's a vital part to this team. I mean, that dude is a team motivator if you've ever had one. Kat Thompson, I'm missing a few. But Grid Vision, you guys obviously put on an amazing broadcast. It's my favorite broadcast to listen to. Love listening to you guys. And then obviously OB for putting on this amazing league that we get to run these long runs, so we don't have to worry about the cautions, and it's just a blast.
Well, man, congratulations on the big win tonight. I'm sure we're going to find ourselves into a couple Bud Lights before the evening is over. Just trying to be too hungover for NIS tomorrow, because hoping to race to get you tomorrow evening.
Oh, man, no, it's Bland's tonight. We're bringing out the special stuff.
Oh, there we go. We'll burn it down, but within reason. Thanks for coming up here and talking to us, man, and congratulations again on the big win. And Joe, I'm going to hand it over to you, my brother, with the final takeaway here this evening.
You got it. I think the final takeaway was the OB Builders Cup Series has got some of the wildest, not just wildest in terms of like, there's some drama on the track, but the best hard racing I've seen at Las Vegas in general. We watched several races here over the course of the last week, and this was the best one. This was the one that I think I'll remember out of all the ones that we've watched. It was just fantastic.
It was absolutely a great race from start to finish. I do have to agree, with other people's sentiments. I do think it is a shame that Sean wasn't able to really have the opportunity tonight. And I'm not going to sit here and point fingers and cast blame, because, it's just not what I'm here to do tonight, because I feel like that was just two drivers going at it really hard, and both of them throwing caution out the window. But I'm really hoping that these guys put on, another opportunity. Let's see what happens. Not Talladega, because Talladega's Talladega, man. Nobody can figure out what's going on. But, Martinsville, Phoenix. Look, we're looking for excitement here in the booth. If the OB Builders Cup Series is trying to build that excitement, two tracks like that where you can be nose to tail, bumper to bumper, and make things happen, I think it would be a pretty exciting show. So
I think you're onto something.
Hopefully we get a chance to see that, especially with a short track mentality. But from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Special thanks to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash Sim Cams for providing the cams used on today's broadcast. As well, congratulations again to Roger Pierce on winning tonight from Las Vegas. This has been Sheldon Atkins, joined in the booth by Joe LaCastro and our fearless producer, Austin Derbyshire. And we will see you next time on the grid.